Yeah. Good morning, students. Today we'll be having a rank boosters program. Program parents exactly Monday. March Monday.
क्या हाँ
So door close చేద్దాం. మీరు 1 2 3 చెప్పండి. స్టార్ట్ చెప్పండి. Yeah. Good morning, my dear students. Before I begin with anything, let me wish all of you very good luck in the NEET 2026. So as everyone knows, NEET is confirmed, date is confirmed. It is almost in around 40 to 42 days right from now. So it is time for you to be focused again. So whatever work you have done for last 2 years, that will have good effects, provided you start using the time very efficiently hereafter. From MS education institutions, we have physics booster classes to strengthen your physics concepts, your problem solving abilities, so that you can go to higher score in the NEET 2026. Hope you utilize all these classes well and improve a lot. Best wishes once again. Yeah. In the first session today morning, I'm going to deal with kinematics. In NEET 2026, that was over on May 3rd, there were 3 questions in kinematics. One question is from the rotational kinematics there, almost similar to the regular kinematics. Then we have got one graph question and one question slightly logical, not that much numerical oriented. In the NEET 2025, there is a little bit of calculus-based, differentiation-based question in kinematics. Some students may have doubt, do they use differentiation calculus that much in NEET means? Certainly yes. 2025 itself is one example. Right in 2016 onwards, not less than 7 to 8 questions are based on calculus. Okay. How do you use the time now? How do you plan yourself there? Certainly respect whatever class notes you have. Whatever the teachers taught for 2 years, please do respect it. Write down all the points in the form of a short notes, something like this. Yeah, in every chapter and sub-chapter and topic-wise and subtopic-wise, have the short notes. For example, a body is moving with constant acceleration. Under the heading of constant acceleration, these are the formulas there. Not only you be thorough with the formula V is U plus AT, but understand and recollect where from that formula has come. V is U plus AT is basically being derived from acceleration is rate of change of velocity. I don't mean that you practice the derivation of V is U plus AT, but the basic point from which the formula has come, you need to be thorough with during the revision time. Just you have to say acceleration is rate of change of velocity, V is U plus AT. Similarly, where from S is ut plus half AT square has come? It has come from the basic point that distance covered is average velocity into time. Whenever a body moves with a constant acceleration, distance covered is average velocity into time. Average velocity is nothing but average of initial and final velocities, that is u plus v by 2 into t. So not only you have to be good at S is ut plus half AT square, you have to be thorough with even the base from it, which is being highlighted here, please. Similarly, the other equations, S is ut plus half AT square in terms of u, S is vt minus half AT square in terms of v, and other regular equations like v square minus u square is 2as. So these are the equations. Okay, now under the motion under gravity, oblique projectile motion. Oblique projectile motion is a topic involving lots and lots of formulae there. In any textbook or college material, this formula runs into 4 or 5 pages there in print. But if you have patience in writing all the formula in notes there, hardly it comes in one side of the page. That's all. as you find here, every formula relevant for oblique projectile motion is here there. Any question that comes under oblique projectile motion, if you use this formula, you can happily and successfully solve it. So have the clarity about these things. Okay, these are the formula we will be using here. Okay, please. Yeah. After you are thorough with all the relevant basics, the formulae, you are thorough with the formula, you are able to recollect the formula, then comes the application there. Now listen carefully. As I said, from kinematics, on an average, maybe 2 questions to 3 questions come in the exam there. But kinematics will give perfect base and ground for you to understand how to do problems in any chapter in physics. Okay? In kinematics there will be some situations where one particular question for you to solve, you have a set of equations you may apply. You can apply different equations, different formula and get it. But what is the best formula for you to get in time, in the properest way? The kinematics will teach like anything. So when once you understand the problem solving abilities through kinematics, you will be a master of doing the problems in any chapter in physics. For that, perfection and a recollection of the formula and formulae in kinematics is a must. So all these formulae, I'm sure you are done with and you are good at. Okay, these relevant formulae, when we go to the concerned topic, we will be seeing there. Now, straight away we are starting with the first question there. Okay, listen. This question is very similar to the rotational kinematics question that has come in NEET 2026. You have written, please. Okay. That particular question, when we translate into the regular kinematics there, it reads like this. Then, a body moving along a straight line with constant acceleration. The moment you are reading the question there, you should underline the main wordings in the question, constant acceleration. Everyone knows, if acceleration varies, you cannot use regular kinematics formula, you have to depend upon calculus. Okay, constant acceleration means you can happily use your formula with which you are perfect with. Okay, a body moving with constant acceleration changes its velocity from 20 to 80 meters per second in 10 seconds. We want to know what is the distance covered by the body during this specified time interval. Okay, now, intentionally, I have written something in the golden color box there so that you think about it and decide yourself, please. Okay, I'm sure you are interacting yourself there. Okay, please. Then, so when once you draw a rough diagram, a body is moving from A to B. Here the initial velocity of the body u is equal to 20 meters per second. Here the final velocity is equal to 80 meters per second. Time is given. We want to know distance covered. Exactly similar question given in rotation kinematics there. Now, I'm asking you a very simple question. What is the best kinematics formula to be selected for this question? You want to know distances. Yes, you can calculate distances by several ways. One is, S is ut plus half it square you can use. Problem is, you don't know acceleration. S is Vt minus half it square you can use. Once again, the problem is, you don't know acceleration. Okay, then V square minus U square is 2as. From that also you can calculate S. Once again, acceleration troubles you. Then, what is the best way of doing the question? In the simplest, ideal way there, using the logic, how to get the answer in the best possible way. Here comes the point there. So among the different kinematics formulas there, if all the formula you can recollect there, here you have to think, you have to speak yourself. Within yourself you have to speak while practicing now or while writing the final exam there. Within yourself you have to speak. How do you speak? Yes, You know the value of u. You know the value of v. You know t. You want to know s. I repeat again. U, v, t, you know. You want s. The best and only formula that comes out to be s is equal to, come on, tell me, average velocity into time. That comes out to be u plus v by 2 into t. Other than this, there's no best formula to do this question. So here it comes out to be, you know the value of u and v. So this is 20 plus 80 divided by 2 into time interval happens to be 10 there. So 100 by 2, 50. So it comes out to be 500 meters there. So this is a small answer for that NEET 2026 question. Okay. Now, straight away we are going for a question with double concept. Right in today's session we are having, we have got kinematics and another topic by name dual nature and de Broglie there. This is a little bit of good question on the two simple concepts combination of kinematics and de Broglie wavelength, dBWL. Okay, let us go for it. So, fresh questions are certainly expected in the re-NEET. Okay, definitely fresh, new questions, thought-provoking questions are going to be there in the exam. Yeah. A car of mass around 664 kilogram. Yeah. A car of mass 664 kilogram is moving with certain initial velocity. So, he is not telling what is the initial velocity with which it is moving. It comes to rest in 20 seconds after covering a distance of 0.2 kilometers. So the car is moving with certain velocity. We have applied the brakes there. Naturally, it has to stop. It is stopping exactly in 20 seconds after covering 0.2 kilometer. Okay. Find the de Broglie wavelength associated with its motion when it is moving with this initial velocity. Yeah. What we wish as teachers is that when once you have the concepts there, let the question is twisted in any angle. No question of any confusion, no question of any tension. With the solid confidence only you have to do it. Yes. And you will definitely understand that there's a fairly easy bit there as we do there. And you must be scribbling on the paper there to get the answer, my dear students there. Please do it. Okay, now a combination of two things. Step number one, as far as the kinematics is concerned, the mass of the car is given as 664 kilogram. We want everything in SI system. Kilogram is the SI unit. Happily, we can keep it. You don't know the initial velocity, unknown. It is coming to rest, final velocity 0, exactly in 20 seconds after covering 0.2 kilometer. Kilometer is not SI, convert into meter there. 0.2 kilometer is 200 meters. Now I want to know what is the de Broglie wavelength with which it is moving there when its initial velocity is u. Okay. Now I want to know, in this particular question there, you basically want to know the initial velocity with which it is moving. Once again, as we were discussing in the NEET 2026 question there, here the thing is, you know, U, V, T, S. These are the relevant terms for here there. U, V, T, S. In no angle we are interested about acceleration term. So what is the best formula here comes out to be means the distance covered is nothing but common term of U plus V by 2 into T. There's a distance covered. Yeah, distance covered, you know, 200 meters there. U, unknown term. Final velocity is 0 by 2 into time interval is 20. From these things there, U comes out to be, okay, 20 meter per second. The initial velocity with which the car is moving is 20. Okay, now I want to know, you know the initial velocity. Any body which is in motion is associated with the matter waves. That's what we study in de Broglie wavelength. I want to know what is the wavelength of that matter wave there associated with the motion of the car. Yeah. Now, what is the formula for de Broglie wavelength? It comes out to be, de Broglie wavelength is nothing but h by p. I want initial de Broglie wavelength when the initial velocity is u there. So initial wavelength comes out to be h by momentum. Momentum is a product of mass into, since you want initial de Broglie wavelength, you have to write the initial velocity, u. I need not repeat that point there. So h by m into initial velocity. Now, you have to be good at h there. Examiner may give h, may not give h. Okay, the value of Planck's constant in SI system comes out to be 6.64 into 10 to the power of minus 34. Okay, kilogram. This is in SI system divided by mass of the car. When you come across the mass of the car there, 664 kilogram may look to be odd there, but it is not odd, it is a happy thing there. 664 into initial velocity, you have got it as 20 there. From this, if you do the simplification, you will be getting the wavelength in meter. Okay, examiner in the options may ask the answer in angstrom. Everyone knows that 1 meter is 10 to the power of 10 angstroms there. 1 meter is 10 to the power of 10. If you multiply with 10 to the power of 10, you will get the answer in angstroms, please. Okay. The next bit. A body is projected vertically up with an initial velocity of 80 meter per second. What is the distance covered by the body in the last 3 seconds of ascent? Okay, you have to be careful while noting the main point in the question. Is it the last 3 seconds of ascent or last 3 seconds of its motion? Okay, the question says, what is the distance covered by the body in the last 3 seconds of its ascent journey? Not the complete motion, only during the ascent. Okay, now listen carefully. I was saying that the short notes is one of your the best friend, the best friend. Okay, in that particular short notes, we don't have too many formula. We don't have one formula for one question. Okay, every one question we don't have formula. Limited number of formulae there and unlimited usage of those formula. You have to be good at. Okay, let me show you some of the equations we have here there under this heading. Pay attention. Okay, out of these equations, you are generally good at S is ut plus of d square. But I am bothered about this equation right now. S is equal to Vt minus of at square. Yeah, this particular formula plays a vital role right in this particular question. Going back to that concerned question, please see here. This is the bit. A body is projected vertically up with some initial velocity 80 meter per second. There's a velocity at A. Okay, the body will be going up. C is the maximum height it is reaching, as you see. Then the body which is projected vertically upwards with 80 meter per second, what is the time of ascent? Everyone knows. Time of ascent is u by g. 80 by 10 equal to 8 seconds. So the body takes exactly 8 seconds to go up. Out of those 8 seconds there, I want to know what is the distance it covers in the last 3 seconds. It will take 8 seconds to go up, but I'm not interested about the complete 8 seconds journey there. I'm interested about a specific part of the motion there. What is the distance covered in the exactly last 3 seconds of its ascent? The upward arrow mark says definitely ascent. What is the distance covered in the last 3 seconds of its ascent? Okay, now I am asking you, what is the best formula to be used in this case? Listen carefully. First of all, how to get the idea, how to prefer the better and best formula there. Okay, it is like this. As far as a BC, okay, we are interested about the motion from B to C. Okay, the body is all the way going from A to B to C. We are not interested about AB. We are not interested about AC, but we are interested about B to C. I repeat again, please. We are interested about B to C. So this is the concerned motion which is green highlighted. Yeah. Then for the motion from B to C there, for the motion from B to C, U is the initial velocity at to B. U is the initial velocity at B, which we don't know. We know the velocity at A. We don't know the velocity at B. Yes, we don't know the velocity at B. Then u is for the motion from B to C, u is we are talking about the motion from B to C. So B is the initial point. So initial velocity happens to be B. We don't know the initial velocity at B. But instead, what you know is C is our definitely final point there, and you know that the final velocity is a definite zero. The final velocity at the point C is 100% zero. Okay, here we don't know about u there. We don't know about u, we know v. Now, what about acceleration? The body is going up. For a body going up, acceleration is minus g, minus 10. Okay, and what is the time there? Time is time taken to go from B to C. For the concerned motion B to C, exactly 3 seconds. I want to know what the distance covered, B to C. Okay, so now you have to speak yourself. What is a better and best formula there? You know V, you know T, you know A, V, A, T, and you want S. The relation that connects V, A, T, S is nothing but S is equal to Vt minus half AD square. S is equal to Vt minus half AD square. So this is a formula which will give the answer in the best possible, correct and logical way. S is Vt minus half AD square. You know that Vt is very happily 0 because V is 0, minus half. Since the body is going up, acceleration is minus 10. T square means it comes out to be 3 squared there. So it comes out to be 45 meters. This part you can do. Okay. Then comes the next bit. How to get the thoughts when the question is slightly new. A body moving with constant acceleration or uniform acceleration, both are same, passes through points A and C with velocities 2 meter per second and 8 meter per second. So velocity at A is 2, velocity at C is 8. Find the velocity of the body at the point B, at some intermediate point B there, not exactly midpoint, at some point B, such that BC distance is 4 times the AB distance. So what he says is that this BC is equal to 4 times AB. If you say that AB is x, the second distance BC comes out to be 4x. So we want to know, we want to get the velocity right at B. Okay, what is the first step there? We are interested about the motion of the body from A to B. For the motion from A to B, all of you know that this is the initial velocity, this is the final velocity. You know that acceleration is constant. Acceleration is constant throughout. Now you have to select the formula. There are many kinematics formula. Which formula is your best friend there, giving the correct answer in an efficient way? So this is U, V, A, S. What are the best formula that connect U, V, A, S is nothing but V square minus U square is 2AS. So this formula you will be using here. So V square, that comes out to be VB square. U square, nothing but 2 square 4 is 2A. Distance covered is X. Step number 1. Step 2. We are interested about the motion from B to C. For the motion from B to C, once again, you know that this is the initial velocity, this is the final velocity. Yeah. So most of the questions in 2026 are highly reachable, as you also know, please. Okay. So UV, this is U, this is V. What is V square here comes out to be? Same formula you are using again there. So V square minus U square is 2AS. V square means 64 minus U square, VB square is 2A. What is the distance covered? 4x. What is our next step there? We want to calculate VB. We don't know exact value of A. We don't know X. We have to get rid of A and X. How do you get rid of A and X? Simply divide one with the other. Divide one with the other. If we divide it, here we get that VB square minus 4 by 64 minus VB square is, you are dividing this equation with this one. 2ax get cancelled 1 by 4. Rest of the things you can definitely do. So here it comes out to be 4VB square minus 16 is equal to 64 minus VB square. So it comes out to be 5VB square is 80, VB square is 16, and VB is a happy 4 meter per second. That's what he is asking. What is the velocity of the body right at B? It happens to be 4 meter per second, please. Yeah. Now listen. This is one of the models, evergreen, in the entrance examination system in India over the decades there. This question never loses its charm there, even in 2026 there. Okay, now a particle is moving in a circle of radius 5 by pi meter. When you see the radius as 5 by pi, slightly irritating thing, but the essence of this question is that the particular radius we use nowhere. Nowhere we use it. Okay, that's why that is being highlighted from my end there. A particle is moving in a circle of some radius or with a constant speed of 10 meter per second. What is the average velocity of the body during 1/4 of the circular motion? So you are considering the 1/4 of the circular motion. What is the average velocity? You have to be careful in the exam. Is he asking about average speed or average velocity? That point should be clear in your mind there. Average speed means something, average velocity is something different. So he is asking average velocity. So the question touches only the basics, only the sheer basics. Yeah. Now, first of all, intentionally I am explaining the point C first. Okay, I know how much tension will be there for a student sitting in the entrance exam hall. We all teachers know it, 100% we know it. But in spite of that, how to maintain the cool, how to go in an orderly way, it will come from enough practice and self-confidence there on you and on your teachers. Okay? So when once you are thorough with your preparation, then believe in yourself and on the teachers and on the system there, and you can do well, provided you start thinking like this. First point, average velocity we want. What is average velocity? Average velocity is total displacement by total time. So there's a first step there. So you have to understand that to get average velocity, anyone need to know displacement and time. Okay, now how to calculate each of these terms? First step is displacement. Okay, the body is completing a 1/4 circular motion from A to B. So we can see that there's an initial point A, there's a final point B. In the process of coming from A to B, undergoing quarter circular motion, what is the displacement means? Everyone knows. Recollect the basic definition of displacement. You are good at right from 8th. Displacement is the shortest straight line path from initial point to final point. So this is the displacement of the body. What is the displacement there? Pythagoras theorem, r root 2. Under root of r square or root 2. So numerator is over. Okay, what is left there? How much time will it consume to come from A to B? The two moving with constant speed. Okay, so you have to catch the wording that it is moving with constant speed, S. And you must be knowing that whenever a body moves with constant speed, only one formula is there. No second formula exists. No second formula. So whenever a body moves with constant speed, distance covered is equal to speed into time. What's the definition of distance covered? Distance covered is the actual path covered by the body, or the actual path covered there. In the process of coming from A to B, the actual path covered is 1/4 of the circumference of the circle, naturally. What is 1/4 of, what is the circumference of circle there? 2 pi r. So this is 1/4 of 2 pi r is equal to, this is the distance covered, is equal to speed into time. With what speed it is moving? 10 into t. So from these things, time you get in terms of r there. Time you will be getting in terms of r, pi r by 20. Yeah, rest of the things I did not show you, explain there. So you know displacement, you know time there. In the next second only you will be getting the answer. Okay. My dear students, if possible, after saying the question there, please listen to me, of course. But at the same time, if you scribble something and get the answer, that will be definitely excellent. Try for it, please. Okay? If you then the next bit, please. Yeah. I want to go for few tips there. Okay, to solve the questions in an efficient way. Not only in this particular topic, when you go to Newton's laws of motion or any other topic also, such a point will be helpful. Okay, let us see. A particle is moving along a straight line under constant acceleration. Okay, previous question was about constant speed. It is about constant acceleration. Then it covers or travels 15 meters in the third second. Distance covered in the third second given. Distance covered in the 7th second given, 31 meters. With what acceleration is it moving? This is a general textbook solution you find almost in every book, in every college material solutions there, without exception. Same thing they write. Okay, now how do generally it is being solved? Distance covered in the nth second. Let us say d third or d nth or s nth, both are same. D nth or s nth, same. So distance covered in the nth second is u plus a by 2 into 2n minus 1. So distance covered in the third second is u plus a by 2. N is 3. In place of n, you have to write 3. Distance covered in the third second is u plus a by 2 into n, 3 minus 1, that is 15 meters. Similarly, distance covered in 7th second. So we have to frame two equations. After framing the two equations, you have to solve them. Then only you get the answer. Definitely time is consumed. To frame the equation, time is required. To solve them, once again, time is required. For such a small bit, is it worth spending that much time when biology is going to be lengthy, chemistry is going to be 100% logical and lengthy, and generally physics equally lengthy? Then, at least for some questions, if you adopt some good techniques, you can be a better version of yourself, I believe. Okay, now the same question, I'm just solving it in the other way there. So there is okay, this is a small formula we come across. If a body covers distance, suppose distance covered in the x second is dx. Dx stand for distance covered during the xth second. Dyth means distance covered in the yth second. Nothing is there. Okay. Suppose during 10th second, distance covered is d10. Similarly, dx stand for distance covered in x second. Dyth is a distance covered in yth second. Then acceleration is dx minus dyth by x minus y. Okay, now just going back to this particular one there, see here. What is a better method here? And you know, d third, d seventh, what is the acceleration? So what is the acceleration here means? This is what I am writing. Distance covered in xth, any xth, distance covered in any yth divided by x minus y. Okay, what is the meaning of that means? Here I am writing distance covered in, for example, 7th second minus distance covered in, come on, 3rd second divided by 7 minus 3, dx minus dyth by x minus y. Similarly, d7th minus d3rd by 7 minus 3. Yeah, you know, distance covered in the 7th second, 31 meters. Distance covered in 3rd second, 15 meters by 7 minus 3, it comes out to be 4. So 16 by 4, so it comes out to be 4 meter per second square. So that's the answer here. That's the answer after framing the equations and solving it. Yeah. Sir? Now you can see such a question coming in one of the recent entrances. 2024 means definitely recent entrance only. Na? See here, how they have given. Here, the actual solution is, I think, once again, the Lindy textbook solution. Okay, better you have your meritorious way of doing the questions. Certainly you better have. Then, see here. So, instead of doing the question that way, the distance covered in the nth second is given 102.5 meters. Very odd value they have given, 102.5 is 2024 bit. Distance covered in n plus 2 second. Yeah, distance covered in n plus 2 second is 115 meters given. They simply ask acceleration. Okay, what is the formula for acceleration? And already we were discussing the formula dx minus dy by x minus y. Practice 2-3 times. Automatically you will become the perfectionist with it. Yeah, acceleration is distance covered in the n plus 2 second minus distance covered in the n second. N plus 2 minus n by this minus this, n plus 2 minus n. This n get cancelled, denominator is 2. Distance covered in n plus 2 second, 115. This one, 102.5. So from these things, it comes out to be 115 minus 102.5. 12.5 divided by 2 equal to 6.25 meter per second square. Within 6 seconds, you can answer this question. Okay? If you're slightly good at this formula there, okay, you can just happily answer. Not only here, we find its application in other chapters as well. The same formula we use in NLM, in a part of electrostatics and so on. Yeah. Projectile motion. Huge number of formulae are there, but all these are being listed just in one page, as we were discussing earlier, please. Okay. Now see here. For a body, first, just see here. I'm asking you, what is the best formula to be selected? Let me just go back to the previous slide, please. Selection is not an easy thing. Okay? Suppose you have to buy something. Only one option is there, means blindly we buy. It doesn't take any time. But when there are 100 options and you have to buy only one, and you can't decide that much easily. A lot of confusion and so on. Now, exactly the same thing here. Here, the topic like oblique projectile motion flooded with formulae. Okay, now, one particular question demands the usage of one particular formula there. Which formula? That is the game changer there for you to be successful. Then, see here. For a body obliquely projected from the ground, the maximum height reached is 10 meters. And horizontal range is 20 meters. You can say that this is the maximum height reached and this is the horizontal range. G is a regular value of 10 meter per second square given. I want to know with what velocity it is being projected. You want to know the initial velocity of projection. There's a question. Pay attention. First thing is, what is the best and better formula here? Somebody recollect the formula for H. U square sine square theta by 2g. They write 10 meters is equal to u square sine square theta by 2g. Horizontal range 20 meter. You know the formula for horizontal range. The horizontal range is nothing but u square sine 2 theta by g. So they will be writing horizontal range u square sine 2 theta by g. But there's not that much an ideal way of doing the question. Okay, now listen. Here, you have to think on these lines. You know the value of R, you know H. When R and H are together given, the single best formula happens to be R tan theta is equal to 4H. Okay. Many times in not only here, even in other chapters also we have to use it. R tan theta is equal to 4H. Now here comes so to be, what is the horizontal range there? 20. Theta is the angle of projection, which we don't know there. Let us say theta. 4 into height. Height is given as 10. So from these things, here comes tan theta is equal to 2. That's the first step there. So we have the clarity about theta. Some students get slightly nervous. Tan theta root 3, bombardingly they say theta is 60 degrees. Tan theta 1, theta is 45 degrees. But here, intentionally, such a value, such a suitable value of tan theta is not given. Tan theta, we got it as 2. Okay, no issue. So that time, we have to understand that something is to be used with the tan theta at a later stage. Then the next point is, we don't want theta, we want the velocity of projection, u. We want to know what is the velocity of projection, u. Okay, now this is the step number 1. I repeat again, the best formula for this question happens to be R tan theta is 4H. That's the ideal formula. Then second thing is, not second thing, third. Second point I will be writing somewhere here. But before I write second, I want to have clarity about third. That way only the toppers think. Then, so you want to know velocity of projection. What the formula for H comes out to be? H is equal to u square sine square theta by 2g. H is u square sine square theta by 2g. You know the value of H there. 10 there. H is 10. 2g, 20. U square we don't know. Now, the main term that is very slightly troubling you, it is not really troubling you, definitely not really troubling you, very slightly troubling you is this sine square theta. Now, your mind should function in one and only one way. You know one trigonometrical term like tan theta. You want the other trigonometrical term like sine theta. How to convert tan theta to sine theta? You have to basically use your school trigonometry or whatever trigonometry we teach in the beginning of the first year academic year there. Yeah. So how to convert tan theta to sine theta? So you must draw a right angle triangle. Tan theta is 2 means 2 by 1. That means tan theta is opposite by adjacent. This is 2, this is 1. Tan theta, opposite by adjacent, 2 by 1. Pythagoras theorem says this is root 5, under root of 2 square plus 1. So from these things, we must be in a position to get sine theta. What is sine theta comes out to be? Sine theta is nothing but opposite by hypotenuse, 2 by root 5. Sine theta, 2 by root 5. When once you know sine theta, you can happily write sine square theta here there. So it comes out to be 4 upon 5. Sine square theta. Sine square theta is 4 by 5. Okay, I am interested in explaining some arithmetic issue also here. Okay, here the answers are slightly close. They are not integers. Okay, they are the answer is having decimal there, and up to decimal accuracy you have to get the answer. And make a note that answers are close. One answer is 15.8, other answer is 16.2. They are closely spaced options. Then how to get the correct answer there? Okay, for getting the correct answer, should you do the arithmetic very perfectly, correctly, taking a lot of time is? No, that is not possible. How can you spend that much time? Okay, you have to use your logic, get the answer in time, perfectly. Okay, so let me continue the question there. So here it comes out to be u square into 4 by this one. This get cancelled 5 times. Now you can see that u square is equal to 250. Okay, Then u square is 250 means u is equal to root 250. Okay, what is root 250 there? Okay, calculating exact value of root 250 may be definitely slightly lengthy, but we need not calculate. We have to take the advantage of the multiple option system. Okay, multiple choice system. When you take the advantage, you can do like this. Everyone in the class know that root 256 is equal to 16. Root 256 is 16. Yeah, root 250 means slightly less than 16. Very slightly less than 16. So the answer is root 250 now. So root 250 means less than 16. It can't be this, it can't be this. And it cannot be 2 less like 12.2. So I repeat, it can't be A, it can't be B, it can't be A, it can't be B there. But it should be slightly less than 16. Slightly less than 16 means this is the answer for the question there. This is the answer for the bit. You get it as 15.8. Slightly less than 16. 15.8. Yeah. Now, a body is projected obliquely from ground such that time of flight is 4 seconds. So the time of flight is given as 4 seconds. And horizontal range is 80 root 3 meters. The angle of projection of the body with the vertical. Listen carefully. In the exam, everything in the same font there. Some key wordings will be there. Some trap wordings will be there. But they will not underline it. They will not bold it naturally. Then here the key wording you have to catch is that what is the angle of projection of the body, not with the horizontal, but with the vertical. With the vertical. Okay. Then, so the body is projected with some velocity u. Generally, the angle of projection is with the horizontal. There is with the horizontal, but he is asking with the vertical. So this question mark angle he is asking. Okay. Now the first thing is that you know R, you know T. You know R, you know T. How to calculate this angle with the vertical. Now, you should be good at the formula. What is the formula here then? Okay, if you happen to go through the short notes list there, r tan theta is equal to 4ha, and you must be knowing that the maximum height in terms of time of flight is given by 1 by 8 gt square. Generally, during the first year, even one of the textbook derivation it is. One of the textbook solved derivation there. So that time we do it and you have to remember it. R tan theta is 4 into 1 by 8 gt square. Here it comes out to be horizontal range is 80 root 3 tan theta is equal to this 2 times. G by 2 means it comes out to be 5 into t square. T square comes out to be 16. 4, t is 4, 16. 80 get cancelled. Tan theta is 1 by root 3 and theta is equal to 30 degrees. So we get theta as 30 degrees. Okay, by chance, we lose concentration even for a fraction of a second in the exam hall there. They will generally give 30 degrees as option number 1. So that they tempt you to go for 30 degrees. But there you have to be careful. So note that he is not asking the angle with the horizontal. He is asking the angle with the vertical. So 30 degrees is the angle with the horizontal. Naturally with the vertical, it will be 60 degrees there. This is 30 degrees we got. So this angle will be 90 minus 30 equal to 60 degrees. So the answer for the question comes out to be 60 degrees. So here there are 2 issues for the question there. By chance, if you don't use this r tan theta is 4h is 1 by 8 gt square, the solution will run into 7, 8, 9 steps. Okay, please kindly don't underrate the bit. There's 7, 8 steps it will go there. And then eating at least 3, 4 minutes. That totally avoid it. So care number one is using the best formula. Care number two, what he is asking, not angle with the horizontal, but angle with the vertical. Okay. The next bit. Generally, graphs are common things in the entrance exam. Velocity time graph of a body moving along a straight line is as shown. So, suppose I'm running from one end of the room to the other end there. First, starting from rest, I speed up. Then naturally I have to slow down and come to rest as I reach the other wall. So first velocity is increasing as you see, then velocity is decreasing. So velocity time graph is given. No information is given about the time values. Okay, this motion is happening in what time? Nowhere it is mentioned. What is the maximum value of this velocity? Nowhere mentioned. So the question appears to be data missing question. It appears as if some data is skipped in the bit there, but not exactly. Then I want to know what is the ratio between average velocity of the body to the maximum velocity acquired. I want the ratio between average velocity to the maximum velocity. Okay. The very interesting thing in this question is that data is not missed. Instead, surplus data is given. Extra data is given. But students generally think on the reverse way. Here, these angles, alpha and beta, you have to just throw them away. They are not needed anyway. Okay? Then see. So if some of you got the answer after you put any effort for it, excellent there, then see. Now coming to the point. First of all, we are interested about the maximum velocity. Let us say that this is the maximum velocity here, nothing but V max is. This is the highest velocity the body is reaching. The body is not going beyond that one maximum velocity. So, is this maximum velocity given up? We are assuming. That's why I am calling it as say. Say means assumption. Assumption that this is a maximum velocity. Let us say that this time is t. Is it given up? We are assuming, aren't we? Once again, 100% we are assuming. Okay, I know that my answer should not have V max. My answer should not have capital T. Yes, that's for sure. Then we assume something. Then I want to know what is the average velocity. Everyone in the class must be knowing that average velocity means, come on down of you, total displacement divided by total time. How to calculate total displacement from a velocity time graph? Area enclosed by velocity time graph with respect to time axis will give you the displacement. This area enclosed by velocity time graph with respect to time axis, this shaded area will give you the displacement. How to calculate the displacement? How to calculate displacement means half into base. What the base comes out to be? This area is nothing but area of a triangle. What is the formula for area of a triangle? Half into base into height. What is the base there? Base is nothing but t. What is the height there? V max. Height is V max divided by total time. Total time is t. Tt will get cancelled. Average velocity is half of V max. We want to know what is the ratio between average velocity by maximum velocity. What is the average velocity by maximum velocity means? 1 by 2. That's the answer for the question. So 100% enough data is there in the bit, but alpha, beta are unnecessary. We don't use anywhere. Yeah. Okay. One of the entrance bits involving oblique projectile motion there. See here. The question says that the initial velocity of projection of the body is 5 root 2 meter per second. You can see that it is one of the entrance bits there. So mass of the body is given as 5 grams. So convert into kilograms there. SI system 5 into 10 to the power of minus 3 kilogram. So the initial velocity 5 root 2, the angle of projection is given there and mass is given. I want to know what is the magnitude of change in momentum as it goes from A to B. During the complete projectile motion, what is the change in momentum? If you happen to see, this is a lengthy textbook or general college material solutions. They will be like this. Okay, you have to resolve into components ij, and then do vector subtraction, find its magnitude, 100% laborious way. Actually, some steps are skipped. That's why it is this way. Then unnecessary lengthy method, unnecessarily lengthy one. So, what is the better and best method from your end to do this question? Okay, now you want to know change in momentum. All of you know change in momentum is just known as impulse. Impulse is nothing but product of force acting on the body into time interval. Product of force into time. When the body is projected obliquely, what is the only force acting on the body? Weight mg. So when the body is going in air, the only force acting on the body is weight mg. That's the only force acting. So the force acting on the body is nothing but mg into time. Time means time of a flight from A to B. What is the formula for time of flight from A to B? From oblique projectile motion, you know that time of flight is nothing but 2u sin theta by g. Gg can be cancelled. You know mass, you know theta. In the next second, you can get the answer for the question. If you follow this particular method, this question can be done in less than 15-20 seconds, please. Believe me. So that's all about that bit. Yeah. Okay. The question says, another question based on graphs. I made the question, the acceleration time graph is given. Acceleration time graph is given like this. What is the kinetic energy of the particle at the end of 8 seconds? Written that at t0, its velocity is 10. At t0, velocity is 10 means, yeah, starting time 0 there, the starting velocity is 10. It is also one of the last 2 years entrance bit. The only thing is, in that place, I have written some data there. Our mass is 2 kg. Okay, listen. Once again, for this particular question, some big integration, graphs, GIFs, a lot of things will be there. Nothing is needed. Nothing is absolutely needed. So the point number one is that when you stick to the basics, area enclosed by acceleration time graph is nothing but a change in velocity. Area enclosed by acceleration time graph is change in velocity. Area enclosed means this particular area plus this area. This total area will give you change in velocity. What is this area? This area is nothing but the area of the triangle is this triangle plus area of the rectangle is equal to change in velocity. Okay, what is the area of the triangle there? Half into base. What the base means? 2 from here to here, 2. Height is 10 plus area of this particular one. This is 2, this is 8. So this comes out to be 6. 8 minus 2, 6. So area of a rectangle means length into width. So this is 6 into 10 is equal to change in velocity. Change in velocity means final velocity minus initial velocity. Initial velocity comes out to be 10. Change in velocity, final minus initial. Okay, now for us to do other important models there, let me just quickly go for it. From this, you can easily solve the equation for V2. Anyone can solve. When you know V2, I don't want V2. I want the final kinetic energy. So the final kinetic energy, and Ke2 is equal to half into mass into V2 square. You get V2 there, substitute here, you will be getting the kinetic energy answer. Okay. Now, another question about the oblique projectile motion and the de Broglie wavelength, touching the shear concept, just basic level concept. A body is projected obliquely from the ground at an angle alpha with the horizontal. So alpha is given. I'm ticking it. My tick means the data is given place. A body is projected obliquely from the ground at an angle alpha with the horizontal from a point A. This is a point A. In the course of its motion, it is reaching a point B at an angle beta with the horizontal. At B, it is making an angle beta with the horizontal. Find the ratio between de Broglie wavelengths at points A and B. Okay? What is the ratio between the de Broglie wavelengths at points A and B? Such questions were a part of a good entrance examination system in the earlier years. Okay, now the point is not a tough question, just two simple steps involving sheer basics. Okay, now in the question, what are given in the question means, as already being written, alpha is given, beta is given. I am intentionally assuming that let the velocity at A is VA. It is not given, say. Here the velocity is VB, say. My final answer should not have VA, VB. I'm assuming that the velocities at A and B are VA, VB. I want to know what is the ratio between the de Broglie wavelengths right at the points A and B. So the point number one is that, will you please tell me, what is the formula for de Broglie wavelength means? Everyone in the class know. The de Broglie wavelength, second step I am writing first. Lambda is equal to h by mass into velocity, de Broglie wavelength. Okay, now h is a Planck's constant, is Pakka constant. The same body you are talking about, same body which is projected you are talking about, mass is constant. So everyone knows that de Broglie wavelength is inversely proportional to velocity. So de Broglie wavelength at A to B is equal to VB by VA. So our basic idea is how to calculate this VB-VA ratio. If you can calculate VB-VA ratio, that is nothing. All of you know that whatever second point I have written, it is an absolute straightforward thing. Nothing in it. So de Broglie wavelength lambda A by lambda B is VB by VA. How to calculate VB by VA ratio? Okay, now one of the important point in the short notes, if you go through later, you will understand that in oblique projectile motion, horizontal component of velocity of the body will remain constant throughout. Horizontal component of velocity will remain constant throughout. Will you please tell me, what is the horizontal component of velocity here there? VA cos alpha. This VA can be resolved into two components, VA cos alpha. Here horizontal component of velocity, VB cos beta. So simply you have to write that this comes out to be horizontal component of velocity is constant. So VA cos alpha is equal to VB cos beta. From these things, we can just calculate this cos alpha by cos beta comes out to be VB by VA. Whatever simple VB by VA you got, just dump it here there for you to get the exact answer for the question. So this comes out to be, okay, lambda A by lambda B is nothing but VB by VA there. So VB divided by VA comes out to be cos alpha divided by cos beta. That's all about that particular question. Okay. Yeah. As I said, over the years, under the heading of kinematics, either 1D kinematics or motion in a plane, under that heading, a lot of questions are there only in NEET. I'm talking about only NEET, no other entrance, no other entrance. There are not less than 10 to 12 questions involving calculus. Refer the PYQs, you do find that minimum number. Okay. Now, this particular part of differentiation, you have to be thorough with. For MPC students, differentiation is a ocean. But for us, whatever is required is hardly less than 1/4 of a page. 1/4 of a page. So this particular differentiation, we expect that you are good at. Okay, this particular part of differentiation. Simple thing. So whatever I am using, just let me tell you. Differentiation of t cube with respect to t is 3t square. Differentiation of t square with respect to t is 2t. How it has come, there also I have written. And differentiation of t with respect to t is 1. So these are the simple differentiations. Differentiation of t cube 3t square. Differentiation of t is 1. Okay. Now, see here. This is the question we are referring to. One of the 2022 question. Already you have done that question several times. That's why the question is very slightly modified. Okay, question slightly modified for the question to appear fresh to you. So, yeah. Then, two buses P and Q are moving along x-axis. Their positions are given. For the bus P, position x is alpha t cube plus beta t square is given. For Q there, ft cube minus t square is given. Okay, positions of P and Q are given. I want to know what is the time t at which both of them will have same acceleration. What the time at which the two buses will have exactly the same acceleration. Okay, now x is equal to alpha t cube plus beta t square. We are concentrating on p. First of all, how to calculate acceleration? All of you know that acceleration is dv by dt. So let me just show you that those formula there. So velocity is equal to dx by dt. Acceleration is dv by dt. Yeah. So acceleration is nothing but dv by dt. But how to calculate velocity? Velocity is not given. So how to calculate velocity means dx by dt. As you know, velocity is, yeah, of course you know it. So velocity is nothing but dx by dt. So the velocity dx by dt, acceleration dv by dt. I need not show you the formula, I believe. See here. Now, so position of bus P is given. From position, you calculate the velocity. How do you get velocity there? So velocity is nothing but dx by dt. Okay, you have to differentiate x with respect to t. As being, just now explain please, then whenever you come across the differentiation, this multiplicand constant of t, nothing but alpha. Alpha is in multiplication with t, beta is in multiplication with t. Such constants are called as multiplicand constants. Those multiplicand constants should be reproduced as it is while doing differentiation. I repeat please, those multiplicand constants should be reproduced as it is while doing differentiation. So alpha as it is, differentiation of t cube is 3t square, beta as it is, differentiation of t square is 2t. So from that, velocity comes out to be 3 alpha t square plus 2 beta t. Okay, now we want to know what is the acceleration there. How to calculate acceleration? dv by dt. So once again, rounding it off means constant please. Wherever I have rounded, there's a meaning of constant. So this multiplicand constant should be reproduced as it is. Even this also to be reproduced as it is. Differentiation of t square. Everyone must be knowing, and we discussed also, differentiation of t square is 2t, and differentiation of t is 1. Differentiation of t is 1. 2 beta into 1 is 2b. So acceleration of p is, you see, 6 alpha t plus 2 beta is acceleration of p is this one. Okay, now position of q is given. X is ft cube minus t square. Then how to find velocity there? So velocity comes out to be dx by dt. So we have to differentiate. This constant of mass is f. Differentiation of t cube 3t square and 2t. So v is equal to 3ft square minus 2t. You got velocity. How to calculate acceleration? So this is 2022 question. Several more lengthier than these questions are there in NEET. Please make a note of it. Very truthfully speaking, very truthfully, very sincerely. Then velocity is 3ft square minus 2t. What the acceleration means? You have to differentiate again. So 3f as it is. Differentiation of t squared 2t minus 2. So acceleration of q comes out to be 6ft, okay, 6ft minus 2. Yeah, acceleration of p already I explained. Acceleration of q is this one. Yeah, rest of the things is very ordinary algebra there. So you have to calculate t, arrange t's on one place. So you are bringing minus 2 this side, 2b plus 2, 2b plus 2. This is 6ft minus 6 alpha t. This, when you come this side, this one. So here 2 common, 2 into beta plus 1 is 60 into f minus alpha. This 2, this 6 can be cancelled 3 times. Then t comes out to be beta plus 1 divided by 3 into f minus alpha. Yeah. So those students who could, who have already touched, say 550, 525 plus there and better the score there, definitely such questions need to be attempted and need to be practiced. Okay. My dear students, I hope our classes are helpful for you there. So use the best of we people here there and then get benefited. Work as sincerely as possible. So little bit of limited time, okay? You don't know how the coming 40 days are going to run there. So use every minute fruitfully and use the opportunity to the best possible extent. I wish you very good luck once again. All the best. Bye-bye.